G'day everyone, Ali here. Well, today I'm going to make a card using these AliExpress layering dies. Now, I did buy them separate from 3 different suppliers and I paid about $4.39 each. So all up, it cost about $13.50 roughly for these layering dies. So what you do is you cut card from different colors and you layer them together to create a really lovely effect. So I've got 3 pieces of different colored cardstock, and my 4th piece here is a piece of foil that I thought I would use as a background to my layering cards. So I'll go and cut these out and I'll be right back. I've cut my cardstock out, and as you can see, they are different patterns. So when they layer, they'll create the pattern. Now I've also got these label dies here that I got from AliExpress, and I think I got about, I got them in a set of 6, and I paid roughly about $2.50 for the set. So these dies, you can use them separately or you can use them together to create whatever you want on the front of the card. So I also have this happy birthday die that I purchased from AliExpress also, and I store them by cutting it out first and sticking it to a piece of white paper and storing them in these clear envelopes. Then I store them in a box alphabetically where I can put my hands on them easily. So I'll just cut this out of glitter paper. So I've had a change of heart using the purple foil here. I think it'll be too much for the card. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to use the bottom die and I'm going to cut out some silver glitter paper from this. I'm going to use the bits from this to jigsaw it back into the bottom layer. So I've got the silver foil cut out, and I'm going to keep all these little pieces because this is what I'm going to use to glue back into my right hand die cut here. So I'll just glue everything into there. But firstly, what I have got here is some cardstock, and I've already folded that, and it measures 10.5 by 13.5 centimeters. So I've had to cut this down a little bit because it didn't fit perfectly on an A5 size, and I did want to have that little bit of a white border around as well. I'm going to start by gluing down this piece here onto my cardstock. So I've got some PVA glue in a precision bottle here, and I'll just glue it down. So now that's all glued down, I'll get my silver glitter paper here and I'll just remove all the little bits from the die and I'll start gluing these all in place. And I'm just putting just a dot of PVA glue in. And I'm just going to use my We Are Memory Keepers pickup tool just to assist me getting these in place. So the first layer's down. Now I'm going to do the second layer, and I'm just going to use my precision glue here, my PVA glue, just to run around the back of the layering die here to glue that in place. By using the PVA glue, it does give a little bit of wiggle room, so when I'm placing it on top of this die, I'm just making sure that it is all in place and all straight. And now with the third die, I'm going to repeat the process just with my PVA glue. Once again, it'll give me a little bit of wiggle room just to make sure that it is straight when I place it down. So that's all 3 layers done, and doesn't it look beautiful? It's got so much dimension to it. Now I realised I should have used some double-sided sticky sheets here for the back of my labels. So I've gone back and I'm going to recut them because I'm not happy with them. So I'm going to put some double-sided sticky label on the back of the silver glitter paper and also onto the darker purple cardstock. I'm also putting it on a little piece of silver glitter here, which I'm going to cut my happy birthday sentiment out, and that should be easier to glue onto the purple cardstock. And I'll just run that through my Sizzix Big Shot machine. So I've cut all this out, and now I'll just assemble my label and sentiment onto the front of the card. And I've got some purple ribbon here which will go on the bottom part of the label. 3D liquid pearl drops here in cotton ball, and I'm just going to use these just to dot around my happy birthday sentiment. Now when you actually use these, they do leave a bit of a tip. Now to get rid of the tip, just lightly tap the back of the card, and this will flatten that tip and make it more so like a brad. So now I'm going to put the base of the label onto the front of my card. Now I want it in the middle. Now because this is a 3D card, I decided to just get some foam dots, and I'm just going to put just a couple of foam dots just in the middle there, just to support my label. So now I'll just assemble my labels onto the front of the card with my happy birthday sentiment. So I'm just going to finish off my card by making a matching envelope with it, and I'm going to use the 123 punch board. Now I have got a tutorial on how to use the punch board, and I'll link that above here so you can have a look at it, but it's really easy making an envelope out of any sort of paper. It also finishes off the card also, I think. You put a lot of time and effort into making a card, why not make the envelope as well? Now I've made my envelope, I'm going to decorate the front of the envelope, and I have this Heidi Swap stamp set here, and I'm going to use the roses on the front and the back. I have this purple ink here, and it's called Let's Colour, and I purchased this from AliExpress, so I'm going to use this for my stamp. Now I've just got a bit of foam here, and I'm just going to put a blank piece of just photocopy paper on the top and my envelope on the top of this. I'm going to stamp on this because I find that it makes a clearer impression using this. So I'll put that on my block, and I'll put some ink on and stamp it on my envelope. Now this ink is a wet ink, and I thought I'd take advantage of it by using some Ranger clear embossing powder just to add a little bit of texture to it and finish off the envelope. Now as you can see, the ink stamped perfectly, and by adding the embossing powder, I think it's just added that beautiful touch of glimmer and dimension to the envelope. So So I'm going to do the same on the back of the envelope, but before I do, I'm just going to clean my stamp off so I can put that away. I'm going to stamp a single rose on the back and emboss it with clear embossing powder. This will finish off the envelope lovely. So that's my card finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I'd love to read your comments on what you think of my card today, and also if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Until next time everybody, happy crafting. See ya!